Hello, happy Saturday. Um, Welcome to today. I have to tell you up front that I'm in migraine recovery, so I feel a little slow, which is fine because it's luckily it can be a slow day, and maybe you've had a slow day too. I hope that you've had a little bit of rest today, anyways. However that works out. So thank you for being here. We are going to spend a little bit more time than we usually do in our weekday meditation. So, not like a super huge amount longer, but a little bit longer. So, but if you need to kind of drop off before we're done, you can always come back and revisit, or just, stay as long as you can, or like. Um, yeah, so we've been talking about that the little quote about paying attention to the condition of our heart, and um, I'll talk tomorrow. The patrons will get like a more guided meditation around this, um, but for today, I just thought that I would give you some things to kind of contemplate if you feel like it, because it's not. um, not trying to oversimplify because like things have a lot of layers, right? But um, in general, say like you're angry and um, and like say earlier this week I was really irritable and everything just like fed into that, right? It wasn't like, oh, I'm irritable and it's fine. I'm irritable and I'm more irritable and this thing is making me mad, and um, and I can recognize that, but it's sometimes it's hard to like get out of that cycle, right? So that's why we have to kind of check in with our minds, with our hearts, and like if you're angry, if your heart is like in a state of anger or upset or fear, then like that's what you're. In my experience, that's what I see out in the world, right? More things make me angry, or I feel like it's almost like that the world's out to get you, sort of. It's one thing after another, kind of. But um, but the more that we can kind of like check in and pay attention, um, the more that we can like witness what's happening, and it's not a denial about what's happening, but it's like a just being present for it. Um, it kind of gives us a power to make choices, right? So we can make choices about healing or processing, or um, how like doing something to kind of change that mindset, whether it's meditation or um, it's going out for a run or a walk or a hike, or um, playing a video game, whatever kind of helps you to manage whatever's going on, right? Not abandon it, um, not ignore it or push it down, but making choices to help process and work through. Um, and that way we can tend to our hearts and our minds and our lives. And I think that meditation gives us that space. So let's make a little space today too. um, and during today, I don't know that I'll give you a lot of cues for checking in with your heart, but if that comes up for you, make sure that you're staying grounded and anchored in the breath. But I invite you to kind of do that check-in. um, and like I said, the patrons will get kind of a more guided through meditation tomorrow. So a good time to join the Patreon if you want to. All right, let's get started in our meditation. So get yourself situated if you haven't already. Seated, laying down. If you're seated, I'm going to sit tall, shoulders back, not scrunched, but back. And neck, just a little bit of bend to the neck, just releasing the back of the neck. You don't want to be like this or like this, but just a nice little like, yes. Scalp and jaw, we're going to keep them soft. And hands can be how you choose. So palms up, palms down in the lap, mudra of your choosing. Eyes can be closed or just gently open, just resting their focus a little bit in front of you. As always, you don't need to be able to see me, just hear me. And if you are seated in any kind of cross-legged position, make sure that you're not like sitting on a part of yourself so that you don't have like a foot falling asleep. And we're going to start with our 3 slow, steady breaths as we always do, just to kind of anchor ourselves right here and to start to bring awareness to the breath. So I think I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. Excuse me. What an introduction to breathing. So yes, let's start. Slow and steady inhale. And exhale slowly, steadily. Another slow inhale. Again, just starting to become aware of the breath. And slow exhale. And one more. Inhale, feeling the breath come all the way into the body. And exhale, feeling it go all the way out. We'll come to the natural breath, whatever that breath is for you today. Continuing to stay with that full breath cycle, just resting your attention as the breath moves through. Noticing what there is to notice. Coming back to the breath if you get distracted. And we're going to stay just like this, following the breath for the next several minutes. Remember, we're not controlling the breath, we're just staying here, right here, in this moment with it. Whatever it is today, whatever this breath right here is right now. Remember, when you do get distracted by thought or noise or something else, that it's okay. The breath or the mind is made to think, and the world outside doesn't stop just because we're sitting. So, no judgment, just coming right back to the breath, right back to the moment. Noticing the distraction and coming right back. being able to stay present with the breath, noticing when you wander off and coming right back to this moment and this breath. That's really the magic of meditation. And so when we notice our hearts, notice our thoughts, it can be easy to start going down rabbit holes, but noticing what's there, staying anchored in the breath and in the moment, really helps us to make such a space around all of these things, a space to heal, a space to discover, a space to make choices about response. So remember, with each breath and each time you come back, you're making a little bit of space for all of these things and for all the moments of your life. We're here for just a few more minutes together. The longer we sit, sometimes the more can come up, more distraction, more thoughts. And just remember, it doesn't matter how many times you have to come back to the breath. Just keep coming back. Just another minute or so, just right here. as our time does start to come to a close, I invite you to take a couple more of those slow, steady breaths and just mark the transition in the day. And, so slow, steady inhale and exhale, letting this time kind of sink in. And again, slow inhale and exhale. And one last one, just on your own, taking all the time you need to come back into your day. Thank you for being here for a little bit longer than regular time, huh? And I'm not sure what next week will look like as far as meditations go. There's some things happening, so um, I will for sure see you, but I just don't know. I'll get to the schedule by Monday, um, and again, if you are interested in joining the Patreon, there's links all over. But regardless of that, I really appreciate you taking the time to be here today, and any time that you get to join, whether it's live or later. Um, yeah, thank you for being here, and take good care. I'll talk to you soon.